This is exactly how I dropped out of college and made 10K in 13 minutes. So as you can see here, for example, I'm showcasing how I'm printing all the labels. Over here was the production from a manufacturer, and you can see here today we're still sitting at 6K days. This video has all the information that you need to actually copy me and do the exact same. And believe me guys, it's that simple. If I'm able to pull off these numbers, you can too. Okay, so 2 months ago I was still in uni doing ecom, but I was losing money in ecom. Now, why was I actually losing money and what changed? So before I turned profitable, I was focused on finding a winning product, building a product page, not building a funnel, and avoiding funneling for friction in general. I was also just ripping Kalo data, which I don't recommend to anyone. I was copy-pasting long-form natives directly from Claude, and I was cheaping out on the creatives, which are the most important part of your brand. So after I turned profitable, I learned that I need to create proper creatives. So that's what I put my focus on. I started building proper funnels, directing the user into the product page. I started abusing funnels completely to belief shift my customers and warm up my traffic for higher conversion rate. I stopped ripping Halo data at all. I stopped copy pasting long form natives from Claude, and I stopped cheaping out on creatives. So what stayed? It was my work ethic and also my confidence that I knew I could make this work. And now the most important shift the least people in ecom talk about. How do you need to actually think? You need to think like a marketing agency owner. And all of this results in how I went from this, so losing money in ecom, barely doing like a couple orders, like doing 600 in growth sales with like 6 orders, to actually fucking printing 6K to 10K days. And that all within 2 months. So I'm gonna show you how you can now make your first 1K day in dropshipping. Okay, so instead of just going to Kalo data and ripping random products or going to Get Hooked and looking for a competitor, you're just gonna think of a problem or a pain point your customer might have. You're then gonna do your research and look for products solving this exact pain. The next thing you're gonna do is build your funnel or your store. The reason I'm calling this a funnel is because most dropshippers get stuck in this mindset of my store is just my product page, even though realistically a store is so much more. And the more you funnel your users into your store, the better your conversion rate will be. Then you actually can start your marketing. Now, how do you start your marketing? There's 2 ways to market in ecom. Number 1 would be organic marketing, which I will do a breakdown of tomorrow. And number 2, which we will focus on today, is Meta paid ads. So let's first compare the pros and the cons. So the pros is that meta ads are easily scalable, provide a lot of data you need to iterate. They can be ultra high return on investment, and they are guaranteed to reach your customers because you are paying for the distribution. A video can't just quote unquote flop. The only real con is that meta ads kind of have a high skill gap, but we have a solution for that. So now I'm going to show you some examples of meta ads. One example for meta ads would be long form natives. It's a really long text, around 2000 words, which basically the customer has to read all through. Then it's just a picture that doesn't really look like it's supposed to sell you something. And when the customer has read through your text, he basically gets pre-sold, and then the hope is that they buy down here. Here's another example of meta ads, and if you think they don't print, this is the store traffic. So 540,000 people visiting the site. So yeah, natives still print. The ad type I want to focus on though today is AI video ads. So there's different types of AI ads you can do. One type I already have a tutorial for is AI UGC, and another type is AI cartoon, which I'm going to show you today. This is my reference style I will try to replicate today. The reason we will go with this style is because crochet style and claymation ads are performing best on Meta currently. Those are exactly the type of ads I used to scale to 6K a day. Now, we will need a couple things to make this work. Number 1 is this document, which is linked below in the comments. Number 2 is Claude. What we are going to do is copy each step's prompt into Claude. So in this case, this is the character creation prompt. So we are going to copy it in together with the image I just copied and showed you. So now that I have both in Claude, I'm going to change the character description here and go into my product's problem right here. So in this case, I just described that the problem is bloating and the solution or the product I'm selling is an electrolyte drink stick. Here I also gave my brand name, but you don't have to do that. Then we're just gonna run this. Here we're just gonna select with which image model we want to generate this. So I'm gonna go with GPT image 2. You need to do that too, simply because it's the best image creation model. Then we're gonna select the solution, and the minimum solution should be 2K. And then you can see how the generation happens directly inside of Claude. So you can see the character is now successfully generated, so we're moving on to step 2. Also, I forgot to show you how you can actually generate this directly within Claude, so I'm going to do it now. First off, you're going to head to polarisugc.com and you're gonna go to the bottom left here where it says connect with Claude. Then you're just gonna copy this URL, you're going to bring it into Claude and press here. Then you're gonna say connectors, add connector, add custom connector. You're gonna put the URL you just copied in here, and then you're gonna put the name Polaris here. That's it. Now back to creating the ad. Step number 2 is actually generating the script which the video should follow. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna copy this prompt here. So this is our prompt. We're gonna once again put it into Claude and just press enter. So the next step is actually to generate your scene images. Those are basically the start frames for every single scene of your ad. So just copy this prompt, paste it into Claude again and hit enter. As you can already tell, this whole workflow is stupid easy and literally just copy and pasting. Everybody can do it. So as you can see, all images started generating in parallel and we even have the first up here. So I'm gonna get back when everything is finished. Okay, so we have the first few images and they are already looking quite good. I'm gonna be back. So as you can see, all images have generated, and if you just don't like anything, you can just recreate it with the button here. But yeah, since we're basically done here, we're now gonna get back over to our SOP file, because the next step is to actually animate the clips. So we're just gonna take this prompt here and go over to Claude again. And now we're just gonna press enter on this prompt for the animation once again. So now you can see the clips started rendering in parallel, and once they are done rendering, I will get back to you. Now once everything is finished, the next step is to generate the voiceover. So you're gonna take this prompt from step 5 and you're gonna paste it into Claude once again. Once Claude is done with this, it will give you the dialog prompt here. Then, once your voiceover is done, you're gonna go back into the SOP file and generate the background music with Claude. So you're gonna copy and paste once again, press enter, and then just let Claude do its thing. The music will come out literally perfect. Okay, so here you can see the background music has successfully generated. You're just gonna go here and download it. So, looking back into the SOP file, the very last thing is that we actually assemble the ad. So we're just gonna download every clip and bring it into CapCut. So, now that I have everything inside of CapCut, I'm just gonna cut it and I will see you in a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, it's literally 5 minutes later. I just assembled everything and this is the finished product.
Wake up flat. Look 4 months pregnant by lunch? Your body's not broken. It's holding water. Your jeans zip in the morning. By 2 p.m., they don't. You suck in for every photo. You skip plans. You feel gross. You've tried fiber, probiotics, cutting gluten, gallons of plain water, weird teas, apple cider vinegar shots. None of it worked. And now it makes sense. Your bloat isn't a gut problem. It's water. When your electrolytes drop, your body panics. It holds on to every drop. Right in your belly. Give it electrolytes and it lets the water go. You pee it out. Your belly flattens, sometimes in a few hours. That's why hospitals give electrolytes, not water. Thousands of women say their bloat is finally gone. We made Light Sis for this. 1 little stick. Rip it, drop it in water, drink. Flat belly. Pool pics. No sucking in. Grab your Light Sis at the link. Tonight.
Okay, so now that everything is finished, it's literally ready to upload into Meta. One only thing that's missing would be captions. For that, just export your ready video, go into Polaris, go to Extra Tools, go into the Auto Captions feature, just upload your video here and pick whichever captions you like. That's it. I hope you learned a lot from this video on how to make cartoon ads. If you want more tutorials and more breakdowns just like this, please follow me.